L'chaim!
Yes, you should move to Israel.
America has no better friend than the state of Israel.
Israel is America's best friend in the Middle East.
Let me further say that I'm a strong supporter of the state of Israel.
America has a love affair with Israel and...
We can save America!
And its Zionist allies.
Fighting erupted in the Gaza Strip today as Israelis and Palestinians...
All day bullets flying, babies are getting shot. If I'm the king of Israel, right? Take a look at the map. Yeah. Look what's all around you. People who are wishing horrible, bad things.
This is the missile in Wadia. You push the button. Boop. Israel.
No! Why?
Yesterday, a kibbutz nearby was attacked. They threw a petrol bomb into the school and locked the doors. 34 children burned to death.
They're the lucky ones who just happen to be standing on the right street corner in Tel Aviv when the pizza joint blows up.
Oh, here's our bus to the airport.
Wow, that was super loud.
That's pretty depressing.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
People blowing each other up because their God says they're allowed to live in a certain patch of fucking sand.
I don't know how you guys do things in, what was it?
Israel.
Israel or whatever, but this is America. You can't just come in here and steal our land from us.
My wife and son met a terrorist once in a cafe in Tel Aviv. In an instant, they and 15 others were turned to ash.
In Tel Aviv, the day after they bombed the market in Tel Aviv, the market was open and it was full.
Lily and I had a fight. It's complicated.
Israeli-Palestinian complicated by the looks of it.
It was easier scheduling Arab-Israeli peace talks than making a date with this girl.
And we got history together.
Yeah. Israel and fucking Palestine.
And Israel is once again a place of conflict and turmoil.
These are the Jerusalem Salvation Gates. 2 of 10 portals to the security perimeter into fortified Israel.
You've forgotten you're facing the single finest fighting force ever assembled.
The Israelis?
Dog, let's go.
Either you're strapped with some kind of explosive device or you're just ticked off. Either way, I can't let you through.
It's not like we're flying to Israel.
You like to joke, huh?
They say laughter opens up the soul.
Well, while we're at it, let it open the rest of your luggage, too.
You're joking, right?
No.
Homie, just tell them what they want to hear.
I can't. Latkes aren't as good as American pancakes.
Turns out Krav Maga is not a kind of yoga. It's a form of guerrilla street fighting developed by the Israeli army.
Krav Maga.
Krav Maga?
Israeli karate. Less haya, more haya.
Krav Maga!
Israeli self-defense technique.
He's a former Mossad agent and an expert in Krav Maga.
My name is Eran Morad. I was in the Mossad I was not in the Mossad for 13 years. I'm here to teach you Krav Maga.
I'm sorry, who is it exactly that you think I am?
You're Mossad.
I used to be Israeli Special Forces.
He was former Mossad, if I recall. You were lucky to have him on your side. That man was a killing machine.
In Mossad, we have a saying. Knives don't run out of bullets.
I am Israeli Military Secret Service Anti-Terrorist Squad. So when I kill this kid, do you want me to do it quickly, or do you want him to suffer?
They're both employed by the Israeli consulate.
Mossad?
Probably.
Moishi Sarov, former Mossad, now telecom giant.
She's 27. She's been an El Al flight attendant for 3 years, making the Tel Aviv JFK run twice a week.
Intel agencies used to use flight attendants as spies, didn't they?
Yeah, and get this, she's former Israeli military.
Mossad is famous for poisoning.
Well, obviously you realized I'm not a travel agent.
I'm Mossad.
Is this guy Mossad or what?
Aren't all Israelis?
Men of my family have been rabbis. In Israel, before that in Europe.
Elderly Jewish couple making their first trip to Israel.
Our son Shlomo is working on a kibbutz in Haifa.
My son, Bruce. He married an Israeli girl.
My mother died in Israel.
His mother is from Israel.
My dad just came in from Israel.
I have a daughter who lives in Jerusalem.
What if I change my name and go live with my cousin and her husband Avi in Israel?
Hi, Annie. How's the boyfriend in Israel?
Your brother's best friend was an Israeli ex-dealer.
There's an Israeli stamp in here. Is that a problem? Khatam Israeli? Been to Israel 3 times. Got a grandma there. Is that all right?
We'd like to think that if Beirut is the Paris of the Middle East, Haifa can be the Rome.
On a beach south of Haifa, for Habanim.
Oh, I've been there. I've seen the guys all playing matkot.
I'm due in Tel Aviv this afternoon. Oh, really? What's in Tel Aviv? What's in Tel Aviv?
Tel Aviv is a hub for the international market for conflict diamonds.
Well, spent a summer at a kibbutz. Lucky I taught Potter on a kibbutz.
Maybe I should join Kari on the kibbutz in Israel.
He spent 8 months in Israel on a kibbutz.
My parents split up and I went with my father to the kibbutz.
You sent us off to boarding school or camp or that kibbutz in Israel where we got beat up because we weren't even Jewish.
And I spent about 3 weeks on the kibbutz, just mellowing out. Of course, they make you work and everything, but it was a good place to clear your mind.
You don't have spring cleaning in Israel?
We do not have spring. Israel is a desert.
I can't possibly help you. I am a meteorologist. Yes, we know. That's why we brought you here. You see, that was Baldahar.
They have winter in Israel. Look, it's cold over there.
Get out of town.
No.
It's a desert over there. I mean, if it snowed, the camels would die.
I'm online with a camel in Jerusalem used to be an Amway salesman. And he was wandering through the desert.
Flanders! Stupid Flanders!
I had a feeling this is what this place would be like.
Oh, God,
Why
it's
is
so
there
hot
never any
out.
parking downtown?
Who gets married on a
get off
Tuesday?
these bad feet.
Ailments.
I'll say one thing about Israelis. Don't cross them.
I've never met anyone like her. She's had the most amazing life. She was in the Israeli army.
Luckily, none of the bullets hit the engine block. So, we made it to the border.
That's good.
Sheikh Mossad operative. She grew up in kibbutz and drop tank if hand job same time, yeah?
I'm loving it.
Phil, Claire, this is Natanya. She's Israeli. She doesn't speak much English.
Hello. You two make sex with us?
Are all Israeli women this
Pushy? Yes, it's genetic.
I'm pushy. Please, you stay there, surrounded by your great enemy, Canada. Try Syria for 2 months, then we'll see who's pushy.
A team leader who cooks, what a luxury.
Here's in the kibbutz kitchen.
You haven't touched your baba ganoush.
The sauce.
It's Israeli style.
And Al, they let you cook your own chicken soup?
They make the best Maine lobster in the world. You'll love it.
Mul yam in Tel Aviv is better.
I worked my way up to being a GM of a Sparrow in Tel Aviv. Then one day, I'm stuffing couscous into a calzone, and I realized...
I brought him some kishka.
What's that?
It's kind of a stuffed meat thing. Israeli soldiers carry it in case they're captured behind enemy lines. They eat it, and it kills them.
I also want to try something called pita bread.
Israeli champagne. And it's vanilla.
We get the hummus for you.
No. Personal trip to Israel. I'll travel for good hummus.
I love hummus. We made it in school on Middle Eastern Day. Both Arabs and Israelis eat it.
Yes, it's the hope of the world, hummus.
Oh, is it so funny?
Every family in Israel gets over $10,000 of our taxes.
Yeah, well, you will never see more collective poverty than Israel.
And I already sent Gary's money to that DJ in Tel Aviv. You think those guys give refunds?
I give nearly every cent I make to the state of Israel.
Temple Sinai was a local shul that occasionally ran a Las Vegas night to raise money for Israel. At least that's what they told the cops.
We asked the children to donate money to have a tree planted in Israel.
Yeah, I heard about that, Rabbi, but when you think about it, how many trees do they really need over there? I feel like Israel's pretty good on trees.
Eric gave trees to Israel.
My father said just plant a tree in Israel.
Tree in Israel.
Planting a tree in Israel. Mom, my bar mitzvah bonds, how much do I got? Thanks. I can go $2,600 and 2 trees in Israel.
I don't know why they want more trees anyway. Israel is a jungle from the trees.
Oh, look, Joe's feeding them pennies.
Oh, somebody take a picture.
This textbook is from 1948.
Let me see that. Israel, the brand new country everyone's gonna love.
Saul, where the hell are you?
About to cross into the West Bank, actually.
But Israel isn't supposed to defend itself?
Oh, yeah, if Mexico bombed Texas, will we exercise
What other country is held to the same standard as Israel?
People that want to destroy our terrorists?
4,000-year claim.
It's the only democracy in the Middle East, you
Self-hating Jew?